Hello everybody and welcome to my review of WWE Backlash, originating from Lyon, France, the second international pay-per-view of the year, and the best pay-per-view of the year, if not for the performance, but for the crowd. Let's get into the matches. So, the quick match card look over. We have a no disqualification tag team match featuring Kevin Owens and Randy Orton taking on the new Bloodline of Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa, a women's tag title match pitting the Kabuki Warriors against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, Jey Uso versus Damien Priest for the World Heavyweight title, Bayley versus Tiffany, Stratton, and Naomi for the Women's World title, and in the main event, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship. This is a decent card with not that many matches on it, which is something I complained about in my original video, but now seeing what they came up with, I'm not complaining no more. So we're going to go in the order the matches happened, starting with that no disqualifications tag team match. It didn't start like that. It was just solely a tag match, but they had started brawling. So Nick Aldis came out and said, "Hey, street fight." And then it became into a street fight. They fought all over the arena, fighting in the crowd, in the ring, barely even, but in the ringside area, along the walkway, everywhere they were brawling. And finally, the match did come to an end with the Bloodline getting the win after Tonga Toa interfered in favor of the Bloodline, costing Kevin and Randy the match. There was no turns going on in the match, as some may have predicted with Kevin and Randy. However, speaking of predictions, I got this one right. I predicted the Bloodline would win. I didn't predict Tama Tonga Toa to debut, but whatever, I was close enough. So that's going to be a 1-0 for me. A very good match to kick off the show. Debatable for match of the night. I do think the main event outshines it just a little bit, but we'll take it. In the second match of the show, we saw Bayley defend her women's title against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton in a match not as good as the opening match, however, still really good for being the shortest match of the night, clocking in at 13 minutes. Everybody got a good share of the pie, with Bayley picking up the win after a roll-up on Naomi in a kind of out-of-nowhere finish, and they hit the 1D on Tiffany Stratton. It was a really weird sequence, but honestly one that I enjoyed. So I don't have any of them with me right now, so we're just going to use these two as an example. So Bayley and Naomi were on the ground, and Tiffany was going to do her prettiest moonsault ever. Boing, boing, boing. Went for the move. They both rolled out of the way, so Tiffany landed on her feet, took a few steps back, charged, hit the corner. Then Bayley was just like, sure, why not? 1D to Tiffany. Tiffany rolls out of the ring. They're like, awesome. Let's fight each other now. So they fought for a little bit. Naomi tried the roll-up on Bayley. Got it. 1, 2. Oh, but then Bayley reversed into a roll-up of her own. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Match came out of nowhere. I was just sitting there waiting. Okay, so they're going to kick out, brawl for a little long. Huh? And while the ending did come out of nowhere, it was a great match beforehand. I really enjoyed this show as a whole, and I predicted this match correctly, 2-0. We followed that up with the Yeet match of the year with Jey Uso challenging Damien Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was an okay match. I don't think it was the best showing of the night by a wide margin, but I don't think it was the worst of the night by a wide margin, as none of the matches on this show are that bad. It's a decent showing. It makes Damien look pretty strong, makes Jey look really good, and Damien did need JD and Finn to interfere in his favor, as JD put his foot on the rope and Finn distracted Jey for a little while. However, Damien was able to hit an avalanche south of heaven, that chokeslam thing that he does, from the top rope for the 3. Oh no, south of heaven. 1, 2, 3. And all in all, it made Jey look good, and the crowd, oh my goodness. I cannot even fathom how to describe the crowd to you. Here, this is the best way I can describe it. Imagine I am the crowd, and you are the card cam. So, oh, it's Jey Uso. I just described to you what the camera looked like during basically every match on the show, especially Jey's. You could see the crowd just going, yeet, 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 every 2 seconds for Jey. And then later on in the night, they were doing chants over and over and over again during the main event, and they have been chanting and cheering this entire time. I just thought I would start to mention it now because of how big it got. They would be saying, yeet, every single time Jey hit an offensive maneuver. And then there was a point where it was Jey and Damien, and they were brawling. It was, if Jimmy is Jey, yeet, 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 no yeet, no yeet, no yeet, 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 yeet. over and over again. These French people who don't know what that means are just cheering it along. And they were reciting Randy Orton's theme when he came out. They were reciting basically everybody's theme. When Tiffany came out, it was Tiffany time, Tiffany time, Tiffany time. When Naomi came out, it was the glow, 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 glow. When Bayley came out, it was the hey, Bayley, ooh, won't you be my girl? Like, the one person they didn't really chant for at all was Solo, because he's a really bad heel. Well, I'm not saying that as a character he's bad, but he's villain. But every single match throughout the night, they were either chanting, cheering, celebrating. Insane job. USA, step it the hell up, because they smoked your ass when it comes to crowds. Best crowd in years. Oh, right, the match. It was a pretty solid match. Yeah, Damien retained. Dope. Not the greatest, not the worst. Let's go. We then saw the women's tag titles change hands as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defeated the Kabuki Warriors for said belts. This was a match that needed to happen. We knew how it was going to end. Everybody predicted this correctly almost always. Nobody thought Jade was going to lose this match, but if any chance at all. And now they're the women's tag team champions, and now I'm 4-0. And the one thing that shocked me was that this wasn't a full-on just, okay, guys, let's have a match. 1, 2, 3. It wasn't that. It was like a solid, 1, and then the finish came. And there were a lot of great moments in the match, especially this one. It was to set up the finish where Jade was catching Kyrie like this. So Kyrie jumps from the top rope. Jade catches her in a powerbomb-like position. Kyrie swings down, trying to Hurricane Rana. No, Jade swings her back up, spins her around into like the one wing and an angel position, pops her up, slides her down, sets her up for Jaded, hits Jaded, rolls her over. Bianca comes in, grabs Asuka, KOD, boom, set up the finish. 1, 2, 3, new women's tag team champions. Great sequence to finish the match. It really showed off both Jade and Bianca as champions, and now those belts actually have some credibility behind them with champions who aren't the most jobber people you've ever seen. We followed that up with the main event, Uso. But it wasn't him in the main event. We obviously talked about him a couple matches ago, where we saw the phenomenal AJ Styles take on the American Nightmare, Cody, for the undisputed WWE Championship. This was probably match of the night. It's debatable between this and the opener, and we saw a lot of creative counters and moves. There was a lot of hard hitting in this match, and while I do think it went about 10 minutes too long, I do think they were able to pack in quite a bit into it, even in that time, because there's a lot of moments in this match, and this is my biggest problem with wrestling sometimes, where it'll be big move, boom. Okay, let's keep fighting. Like, there's a lot of times during this match where both men are just kind of selling in the ring, and that's fine. Like, sell as you need to. But I feel this match did not have to take the 27 minutes, but 30 minutes that it did. If you look at the matches so far, this is by far the longest match. So the women's triple threat was the shortest at 13 minutes and 34 seconds. Then it was the world heavyweight title match at 15 minutes and 47 seconds. Then it was the women's tag at 17:22. The tag team match at the beginning with 19:38, and this match easily number one at 27:18. A big jump up from the match beforehand and from the whole show as its entirety. But all in all, I do think it was a good way to give Cody that first opening win he needed. Giving him a match against AJ is a pretty damn good opponent to help build your babyface champion. And AJ put the work in as well. And the crowd, it seemed, were more into AJ than Cody, because, yeah, they would do the whoa. It was pretty loud as well. But at the same time, they were doing a chant. I can't replicate it now, but it was like something, 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 a little bit more. La 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 la. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the crowd during this show. I already yapped about him for like a minute, but this chant was probably the best one, as it did seem like Styles was enjoying himself, trying not to smile and everything. So I really liked this show. I don't know what to say. The crowd was amazing for it. So props to them. That's my review of the show. I think all the matches were good. This was the highlight of the night. Ricochet wasn't on the show, sorry. This was the best match on the night. Then the opening was really good. The women's triple threat was great. The world heavyweight title match was good. And then the women's tag titles match was great as well. There was no bad matches or even mid matches about the show because everything had at least something for you to go like, huh, that's a pretty damn good show. So all in all, I'm giving this show an 8.5 out of 10. I don't think it's a perfect show or anything, but I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I went 5-5 in my predictions, undefeated over here. So I have to have the best possible opinion, as always. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, go whatever. Make sure to watch any former or future episodes of this channel, and goodbye.